Okay, it's day 172, and here is your recap of yesterday, which was an action packed day to say the least. The day started out with asking, instead of having glamour shots of SES folks, which were fine, I understand why you would have a glamour shot with the president talking about all the great stuff you were doing at DHS. Who's following up on the damage assessment of the OPM hacks? 20 million veterans' families, 20 million also families of government workers. And remember, this isn't just deep dive information about the families, it's also deep dive information about everyone who ever called DHS. It'd be perfect if you were running a color of law rat lines. You would want to know who knows what so that you could crowdstrike them. Here's the second one. We got into Giggity. Giggity TV, of course, is the founder we met, which was Rich Sang. It's kind of fun. We went around to Wicker Park in Chicago, and there's some good segments there. We've actually went to the famous MIS department where Sean Henry and his famous agent Adrian Hawkins made those 9 months of phone calls that didn't get picked up here in Chicago. And we were wondering, is that how you handle a hack where democracy is being fundamentally challenged and overthrown? Do you just call a help desk line and then take no answer for an answer? I asked Robin Gritz about that situation, and she almost spit out her bratwurst as she laughed so hard. She said she would have been over at the DNC within minutes with a team. So that was just good to get an FBI agent's opinion on that. And of course, we still are trying to get Rom his Bitcoin. We tried using donation, our shoeshine guy, to maybe infiltrate into the city hall. That didn't work. So then we switched over to a barge, a basmati rice barge. That did not work. So then we went, of course, over to Rom's famous Chinese cars. Loop Capital. We went to the Clinton stop. Capital. We figured that would be the stop that we could put the Bitcoin on, and that didn't work either. Then, of course, we went out to Rosemont, out by the airport, out by O'Hare, to meet with Robin Gritz to see if we could divert some of the Bitcoin coming in at O'Hare from Pakistan to Robin Gritz's GoFundMe. And so if you didn't see, not very many people at the start of the day, but as we moved on, I think we were at about 23,000. The second part, it was filling up, and we introduced something called the Gritz file. And the Gritz file is all the press clippings and cases that Robin's been involved in over the last, 20 years. And it's really a hidden history of the United States of America. So the good news to report was in our final missive here, we got over 30,000. So we raised over $7,000. That number was below $20,000 when I arrived in Chicago. And we're going to keep telling this history. I know how people want us to say, make this go away. We want the Andy McCabe version of events. We don't want to know actually what happened in all these cases. And I'll just pick out just one case out of maybe 30 we talked about, and it was this Sabiri case. Now, most people don't know Sabiri. She's, this kind of a beauty queen, but she was also a journalist. She was one of these girls who said, or women that said, I'm not happy just being a beauty queen. I'm going to go into the bowels of Iran, do reporting about things that are going on with Hezbollah and so forth. And of course, inevitably, she was detained by the government, and Robin Gritz got her out. This was very similar to the case that we had with Robert Levinson, if she would have been allowed to continue. Now, was Robert Levinson involved in Uranium One, the rat line between UAE and Iran, between the rat line for centrifuges, the rat line for yellow cake? We don't know yet, but we're going to find out. But here's a case where she told me about this father calling her. And this is, he was just really, it was his father, this father's whole world was his daughter. And then finding Robin Gritz exfiltrating the daughter or recovering and getting her out was just one of the stories. And this is when I kind of coined a term of, we need to crowdsource the outline for Robin. These moments are what we need to bring forward so that in a storyboard form like this, maybe 8 panels, we can tell the whole, or at least part of the Robin Gritz story that's so hidden right now. And this number, we are going to get this number over $500,000. My goal, again, is not just to get her to $75,000. My goal is to get her where the Bromwich K Street PR firm did with all the Bitcoin from Pakistan got Andy McCabe up to $530,000. This we have $500,000 to go. We are this case is bigger than Robin Gritz. This case is bigger than Robin Gritz versus Andy McCabe. This case is the Louis Freeh type of FBI, the McDuff type of FBI, the FBI we all want. Okay, and here we were at the Hofbrau House, and I won't show how full it was when we got there, and probably a lot of the people weren't there for the Gritz fundraiser. But that's a good summary, and we are going to take this as a microcosm of the battle for our democracy. This number needs to get to 530,000.